guys, just here to do another video of Hootie. I've got his e-collar paired to his speaker, so you're gonna hear beep. Hear that? That means I'm using his e-collar. So you can't really tell if I'm using an e-collar otherwise. So it'll kind of give you an idea of how to use it because you can't really see it in use very well. So I'm going to go over what a long line session will look like, the different commands that I'm teaching him, how to use the e-collar when you're implementing those commands. And this is going to be one of those activities where, you know, if you guys, it's actually almost more beneficial than a walk. It's gonna, 15 minutes of this, his little brain's gonna be pretty wiped out. A little, he's very smart. And you know, one of your issues was digging. This should help that go away because he's gonna be more relaxed. He's not gonna be looking for trouble as much, having been more satisfied through mental stimulation. Let's go. Let's go. Need to go potty? So I think he needs to do his business, so why don't you come over here a little further out of the camera view. I like the chat. So, there you go, bud. The e-collar is paired with my command. So every time I say any command that I'm giving him, the e-collar will turn on. He's on a 4 right now. This goes all the way up to 100. This is a very minute number, and I'm probably going to adjust the e-collar based on his ability to listen. So when he smells, sometimes his e-collar, let's go, is a bit higher than when he's, you know, not fixated on a scent. So every time I say a command, you're going to hear the e-collar. The e-collar is not going to turn off until I get my commitment from him. So it's not just about tapping the e-collar once, it's actually about holding that e-collar down until you see the dog commit. So I'm going to say sit. Good. So I sit. That duration was slightly different because the first one took a little longer for him to sit than the second one. So I'm just going to hold it until sit. I see that commitment. So my commands are, let's go, let's go. Every time I turn, let's go, I say let's go and tap. I have come, Hootie come. Hi. Let's go. Good. Let's go. So, let's go is like a casual follow me. Let's go. Good. Wait. Good. This was hard for him at first because it's that, you know, you're saying how he's kind of nervous about new flooring and stuff, and this was hard for him. He had to overcome some fears getting on this play sport, so this is great. You're a sweetheart, you know that? So this is place. Place means stay. How I make it a stay is that he can't get off of it until I tell him to. So he has to stay here until I have given him permission to get off. This nice raised cot creates a boundary for the dog so that they understand that this is where they need to be staying. And your dogs will get these cots when they go home. So it's part of the package that you bought. Now, when I release him, I want to make sure he knows he's been given permission to get off the play sport, so I'm going to say, let's go. Let's go. And let's go again means like kind of, it's a casual, follow me this way. You know, let's go this way. Good. Good. Now all these turns I'm doing is, they're keeping him in pack drive. Let's go. So Hootie has a really strong nose. I think that might be one of the reasons why he digs so much, is because his nose is constantly going. He's constantly sensing things. So my guess is he smells something in the ground and he wants to with me as I turn. Let's go. Let's go. These are more to keep him in pack drive and to keep his attention on me before he does that and shoots out. Good job, buddy. Good job. Place is another great pack drive builder because when they're on it, he's not good at it yet. He hasn't had very much practice on this, and a lot of what we've done is overcoming fears. So, he's not solid on his stay yet. Nice. So what's going to happen when he starts to appreciate this board, and he will, they all do, is he's going to start paying attention. Right now he's looking around. He's going to start looking at me when he's on this thing. So place ends up becoming a great pack drive builder. So he's air scenting right now. He's in prey drive. My neighbor's right there. He's catching wind. He doesn't actually care where I'm at, right? So I want to, there it is. Place. Yes, good. Trying to build more awareness for his pack. You know, instead of being so independent and needing to look elsewhere other than his people, I'm trying to build into him a habit of constantly checking in with his pack. That's instinctual for a dog, it's healthy for a dog, and it is going to be easier for you to have access to their brain. So pack good, see? Now he's paying attention to me. So this is over time going to get even more intense where he's going to pay attention to me a lot more. Let's go. So pack drive is another, place work is another way to build pack drive. So we've got place, let's go, you've seen me do sits. And we've got recall, which is Hootie come. Hootie come. Hey buddy. He likes to blow that one off a lot. Over here, bud. Sit. Down. Good. So when I say Hootie come, I want it to be the highest form of commitment he can give me. So my let's go is very casual. I don't stop, right? I just guide them towards me. But when I say Hootie come, go. I'm going to do it right here. He needs to come all the way to me and sit. Hootie come. See how the e-collar's not turning off yet? Not the cleanest recall. I'm still working on it. He hasn't been here that long. I had to go up to an 8 instead of a 4 on the e-collar. Come. So this is the command I can tell he blows off the most at home. Like, it's very obvious to me that Hootie come means, no, I don't feel like it. I'll come when I'm So I'm not real sure why he yelped. Still on an 8, which is the number I've been using this whole time. I don't know if maybe he was just kind of pissed at me or something because his demeanor hasn't changed. So I don't think that was the e-collar at all. I obviously do not want to create yelping. That's not my style of training, but sometimes that type of stuff does happen. Come here, bud. I think the most important part, if it ever does happen to you, down, good, is to just try to move forward, you know? Everything's gonna be fine, bud. Not make make a big stink out of it. So he just whined again. I haven't heard him do a lot of whining since he's been here. So he might be getting anxious. These might be all vocal expressions of anxiety because, you know, Hootie is in a program right now where he doesn't call the shots. And I know you guys are dog lovers, so I have him come. Sit. Good. Good. So I have a strong feeling that Hootie's probably calling the shots at home, you know? And that's not every dog that comes here. So that's why they're here, is because dogs develop behavioral issues when they call the shots. Let's go. But for Hootie to spend most of his life calling the shots and all of a sudden come to a place where he doesn't have that option, there's some anxiety in that, there's some stress. You know, you got to appreciate these guys for working so hard in such a short period of time. He's a good boy. But, you know, like there's been a dozen or so times where I've called him off of something that he obviously, like, you know, the sight of a dog. It's obvious that he wants to go say hi. I don't know how many times he's been allowed to with you guys, or if he just pulls and there's nothing you can do about it, but that was aggravating for him at first, to be called off the dog. He was very frustrated by that. Let's go, bud. Yeah. And that's because he had never been controlled in that situation before. So for him to have to listen when he's so heavily fixated, that's challenging. That's a big change for him. And he might go through some of this when he first comes home with you, because with you guys, not only was he not listening in 100% of the time, come, but now you guys are going to have means to make sure he follows through every single time. And so for him to not have access to be selective anymore, yeah, can become very frustrating. Let's go. But yeah, excuse me. Once it becomes his new norm, like, you know, once it becomes something that they learn to appreciate, you don't see the agitation as much anymore. They actually really like it. But, you know, let's compare it to me coming into your house, which is pretty much what I'm going to do at your go-homes, and say, hey, you have to change a dozen things all of a sudden. Well, I mean, you should if you want results. That's up to you guys. But it's hard to hear, and it's hard to change. So, you can only imagine his numbers are going down. He's down to a 2. Good boy, you're tired. Are you getting sleepy? Yeah. So this is where all that comes from, you know, that change of habit. That's hard. So we haven't even been out here very much, and he's already tired. When their numbers start to lower, that's a sign of fatigue. You know, and so this is what's so great about this very, very tiny training session that we've just done, is that if you went and did this for 15 minutes and then he was hanging out outside, he's going to be way less inclined to go dig. You know, he wants to just relax right now. Now he's just to a point where he's like, all right, like the edge has been taken off. I'm no longer in this constant need to be in prey drive, and I really just kind of want to chill. So pretty cool, because it probably doesn't look like we've done much, but the brain is not being allowed to stay in prey drive for very long, and that does a lot for a dog's mentality, for calming the brain down, for mental stimulation, for your relationship with the dog, because you're focusing them on you. And really the ultimate goal is teaching him that when he's out in the outside world, you're hilarious. I've never seen him lay down so much in my whole life. Buddy, you're super mellow. You're just a mellow dude. But really, like, the ultimate get him to the point where he's just pretty chill, and you're teaching him like, hey, even though there's all these exciting smells and sights and sounds, you should still pay attention to your pack. You really want to know where your pack is at all times. Good boy. You're incredible. Oh my gosh. Seriously? I love you. This is great. That was what I want place to represent. Zen spot. Calm relaxation. So, now that he's relaxed, I'm going to spend some more time chatting with you. And then we'll maybe do a couple more reps. Get him out in the field again. But, good boy. He's a really good dog. He really is. So yeah, these activities are something I'm going to encourage you to do when he comes home. I'm going to be teaching you this at the midweek. Obviously, I know you want to walk him, and we're going to get there, but it's important. This is actually how I teach them to walk with me, because I'm really, really teaching the brain to not fixate so much in that drive where they're hunting all the time. And I'm really teaching the brain how to handle focusing on their pack while there's all these things that provoke their predatory state of mind. And so this is really building focus on the pack. You know, it's the switching of the drives. Prey pack, prey pack, prey pack. It's really centering that brain in on the handler. So when we start to do these repetitions, healing in a walk becomes easier and easier and easier because the brain is starting to be patterned. Where does my attention go? Does it go to the cat, to the smell, or to my handler? And can the dog, even if it does smell something, continue to focus on the handler? So this is a great, great exercise. It takes the edge off. It's mentally stimulating. It's relationship building. And it's going to actually prevent a lot of unwanted behaviors in the long run. Super beneficial. So I'm going to go over my commands one more time. Let's go is that very casual follow me. Hootie come is Hootie come and sit next to me. He can sit here in front. I have, oh shit. Sorry buddy. That's not fair. That's not fair. That was an accident. Okay, where? Wait. I must have hit the boost button. He's like, that's stupid. So here is, he's not quite good at it yet. He's getting better. But it's going to actually flip them over into that healing position. So when we're walking him and stuff, he's going to be in a here command. And a lot of the times when I say Hootie come, I like to put him into a here, or I might say here and then put him into a sit. So basically after you recall Hootie, you're going to either want to have him sit right here. He needs to be looking at you. So if he's going to sit in front of you, his back can't be turned. That's a conversation, right? That's basically a blow off. He needs to be really close to you, so not 2-3 feet away from you, but actually like in your space. And then when I say here, I want that heel position. And I like to sometimes I'll do a here and then I'll put him in a sit. But basically, whenever I say Hootie come, I need the highest form of commitment possible. And this is going to teach his brain that when he hears that command, it's a very serious commitment. Recall is the most important thing you can teach a dog, and it's going to solve majority of behavioral issues. So really establishing in his mouth, so I don't know. We'll see if I get to the out, but I will be teaching him leave it. He doesn't know it yet. I'm in the process of working on down, which he kind of seems like he already knows. But these are the big commands. This is what I center all my attention on. So it's important that you know how to differentiate between the commands and what expectations you're going to have when you give the command, right? So it's not Hootie come and then you turn and keep walking. It's Hootie come, stop, get the commitment. And a lot of people goof up on that. Let's go is more of the casual moving around. So I'm going to give you working for a couple minutes and give you an example of what a long line session could look like at home. So it could be, let's go. Good, buddy. See, he's so pooped. I'm not really having to do much because, there we go. Hootie, come. Yeah. Yeah. Sit. Down. So, let's go, let's go, let's go. He shoots out. I like to give him the line. This is very hard for people to do. People struggle with my long line. I coil and uncoil. You might have to just let the line out. Just don't worry about tangling and stuff, and just let it sit like that. It'll be better trained when he comes home, so it'll be easier. Let's go, let's go, let's go. He shoots out. Hootie, come. Here, sit. Place. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Place. Once he gets more advanced, challenge him on place. Let's go. And then repeat. So you have all these commands, and basically you're just going to be utilizing all of them within a 15-20 minute session. Let's go. And really just kind of honing in on keeping him focused on you, switching his drives, getting that commitment, challenging the brain, building a good relationship. Good job, buddy. So, I don't know how long we've been going. I didn't work him at all before this. So 25 minutes, and he's fried. He's ready to go in. He wants to go take a nap right now. So this is not very long, which is good, because I think what Hootie is saying is, I don't really have a lot of stamina. I'm not really a working dog. I'm good for a walk and a working session a day, and I'm pretty content to just relax and sunbathe. It's kind of how, if Hootie could talk, I feel like that's what he would say. He's not a super high energy dude. And this is a huge advantage for you, because I'm sure you don't want to have to work your dog 2 hours a day. Hootie, come. Hey, bud. You're awesome. So, you guys got sensitive on the e-collar. And this is going to give you an advantage because his number range is really low. So the highest I went up was an 8. And I'm on a 2 right now. So, you know, this is the lowest of lows on the terms of e-collar work. I have a Doberman pincher in my house right now. You get it, buddy. You just scratched that back. Yeah. I've got a Doberman pincher in my garage right now, and she is between a 4 and a 90. To give you a little indication of the different types of dogs that I see. And the 90, the thing about the e-collar is that whatever number you're on, it's not supposed to be a correction, it's just supposed to match the intensity of the brain. That's it. So, Hootie! Come here, bubs. Hang out with me. So, you know, if they see a rabbit or a dog, their brain is going to be a lot more intense than what we're doing right now. There's not a lot going on in this field. So as you can imagine, their numbers change. And so that Doberman, when she sees a dog, she goes up into the 90s. It's insane. And it doesn't actually mean that I'm correcting her at that point. It just means that that's how high I had to go for her to feel the e-collar stimulation on her neck. You can't tell the difference. What I mean by that is, if I use a 4 in the garage where there's nothing going on, it looks the same as when I use a 90 off of the dog, because I'm just matching the intensity of the brain. So, it's going to be kind of like a riding scale, where you're going to be kind of going up 1 or 2 at a time until he listens. Good job, buddy. But because you have such low numbers, at least right now, that can change, by the way. But right now, we have really low numbers. So I just want you guys to know that you might make a couple mistakes on this thing, just because he's so sensitive to it. He's a good boy. And I think it's important to know that because this e-collar is being trained in a positive way, where he receives a lot of positive reinforcement that correlates to the stimulation, when you do make a mistake, if you really make it clear to him that, do you want to go back in your crate? He's like, I'm freaking tired. Or do you have to go poop? You want to go poop? That what you're gonna notice, that if you can kind of move on and not make a big deal out of it, he will too. His demeanor is not going to change much because it is correlated to positive reinforcement more so. So that's kind of how I feel about the e-collar. Sit. You're off. So hopefully that was helpful. This is long line work with the e-collar. I'm going to be teaching you this at the midweek. I hope this was helpful. It'll kind of give you an idea of what you're going to be doing when he comes home, and it kind of gives you a glimpse of his progress and how easily tired out this guy is from something as simple as what we just did. So that should be hopeful for you too, because then you don't have to work your tush off to tire this guy out and make him fulfilled. So hopefully this was helpful.